Yes, we can.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Aranya.
Good evening. We request everyone to be on mute unless you have something to say. Today, myself and Reena are here to walk you through on how you can leverage Apache Superset for exploring and visualization data. This is the agenda of the session. We will be giving a brief overview of Apache Superset, evolution of Apache Superset, why one should use Apache Superset, a brief description on the superset architecture, key features of Apache Superset, a demo on the features of Apache Superset, key takeaways for you to try out after the session, limitations and challenges of Apache Superset, and a comparison between Tableau and Superset. Apache Superset is a modern data exploration and visualization platform. It is an open source alternative to tools like Tableau, Power BI, Looker, etc. Close to 100 companies are using Apache Superset for exploring, visualizing, and deriving insights from their data. Being an open source platform, nearly 400 contributors are working actively on improving its performance and throughput. From simple pie charts to Sankey diagrams, Superset supports diverse set of visualizations and is still fast, lightweight, and intuitive. Moving on to the evolution of Superset, Apache Superset was introduced by Airbnb to facilitate the challenges they were facing in exploring large chunks of data. The two key problems they were facing include enabling users to access data and making it independent of their SQL knowledge, and the challenge of exploring data from different sources such as Druid and arriving at insights from the same. The potential solution they had defined to overcome the challenges was Apache Superset. They developed it in such a way that it had two primary interfaces. One is a rich SQL IDE that enabled faster and flexible access of data. And the second one is a data exploration interface that converted these data tables into rich visual insights. So, why one should use Apache Superset for investigating their data? It is powerful yet easy to use. Apache Superset is a quick enough to integrate with data sources. It allows users to explore data without having to write any code, but just by executing simple SQL queries. It integrates with modern databases. Apache Superset uses a library called SQL Alchemy, a prime component of the Superset architecture. It is capable of connecting to any SQL based data sources, and it is cloud native. It also has the ability to scale up to petabytes of data. Apache Superset has a modern architecture. We do not require any additional layers of ingestion, as Superset is capable enough to scale your existing infrastructure based on the incoming data. Hence, it makes Superset lightweight and intuitive. Superset offers a wide range of visualizations for users to explore and investigate their data. It allows users to plug in their own customized visualization if they require it for their use case.
Coming back to the superset architecture, so let us first look at the stack superset comprises of. If you look at the right side, we have listed down the stack that it uses. So on a high level, superset uses JavaScript as front end and Python as backend. And it highly extensively uses pandas. I think most of us would be familiar with pandas library, right? Even superset uses pandas library for pivoting, doing some transformation for time series transformation, all those stuff. And as already mentioned, Superset uses SQL Alchemy library to do this ORM mapping. So the SQL Alchemy helps Superset to talk with different databases. So if you have to check whether a particular database like SQL or Athena or something like that is compatible with Superset or not, just go to the SQL Alchemy library and check its compatibility. If that is working, then Superset should be able to integrate this. Apart from this, Superset uses a quite long range of like around 65 other libraries for creating this super product. And one more question that always people have is whether Superset stores data or not. No, Superset never stores any data. Anything that you can call it as storing is it stores some results in its cache. So apart from that, Superset never stores any of their data. For example, if you're using Superset to interact with Athena or like high queries, it never stores any data from that particular place. Okay. And coming to your left side of the slide, that is your superset architecture. Superset is nothing but just a web server and a metadata database. And you can see at the left, there's a small MySQL picture, right? So basically it uses MySQL for storing the metadata, but that doesn't mean that you also have to opt for MySQL. You can also choose other databases to store metadata. For example, you can customize it with MariaDB or Oracle DB, anything. Similarly, Superset prefers Redis for caching. So Redis is nothing but in-memory database highly used for caching. But you can also use Memcache DB for caching, and it also use Redis for this Celery. For example, if you have quite familiar with web servers have this inbuilt timeout for each request, right? So it might range from 30 seconds to 120 seconds by default. But if you look at the queries, and if you're connecting to like Hive or some Athena, the queries might run for more than 5 minutes or sometimes even hours, right? In such cases, to deal with that fact, we have this Celery worker who monitors the query and then updates your database in the hood seamlessly. So let us look at the key features of Apache Superset. Superset comes with this beautiful wide range of visualization, and that's not it. It also allows you to customize those. It has this customized plugin where you can add your own visualization type, and it is easy to create flows here, and it has this high granular security model. So if you have been little bit familiar with AWS cloud, there's a concept called roles in IAM service, right? Superset also has a very similar model here for giving roles. We'll quickly look that in our demo session. Apart from this, Superset has this out-of-box support for most SQL speaking databases, as it uses SQL Alchemy in the hood. And Superset comes with this deep integration for Apache Druid. And this was the very idea why Superset was formed. So back in the Airbnb time, they were using Tableau, and they were not able to integrate that with the Tableau dashboard. So Apache for Superset was built for integrating this Apache Druid itself. So it was formed as an hackathon project from that. And coming to the next point, fast loading dashboards with configurable caching. So you can customize on the cache time. For example, if my job is a real time, my job actually brings in real time data, and I can go and set the cache to have it as like 10 seconds, go refresh every 10 seconds. Or if my dashboard pulls data only like every 1 day, like or every 6 hours, then I can go set up the cache as the time go refresh every 6 hours, something like that. And the last feature is an amazing feature. It is the ability to schedule reports directly to your mail. You need not check your dashboard daily. It has this inbuilt feature where the dashboard will be sent to your mail at a particular period which you can set. And now let us look into the demo. So we'll be covering roles and permission, chart creation, dashboard creation, how to share dashboards via email, and how to do email scheduling. Let us jump into demo. So I have set up my Superset in my local. You can also do that in cloud also. So it's using this 8088 port. Yeah, Saranya, over to you.
So the roles and permissions are the first component of our demo. Security being the most critical aspect of any system, Apache Superset offers a list of roles which can control and restrict access to the different components available in the platform. So these are the list of roles we have in Apache Superset. The first role is the admin role. It has all possible rights, including granting or revoking rights from other users and altering other users' dashboards. These are the permissions that the admin role basically has. And the next role is the alpha role. The alpha users have access to all the data sources, but they cannot grant or revoke access from other users. They are also limited to altering the objects they own. That is, if we give access to a particular object to the alpha users, they can only access those objects and they cannot access any other object. Alpha users have this ideal benefit of adding and altering the data sources. The next role we are going to see is the gamma role. The gamma users will have limited access. They can only consume data coming from data sources they have been given access to. Say I've given the gamma users an access to a particular data source. They can only view the dashboards that are created using that data source, and they cannot view any other dashboards. These are the three main roles. Apart from this, we have something called the SQL Lab role. This SQL Lab role is responsible to grant access to SQL Lab. And as I already said, the admin users have access to all databases, but the alpha and the gamma users need access to the SQL Lab. The next interesting role is the public role. Say somebody anonymous has to view your dashboard. You can give them an explicit grant of viewing your dashboard, but that can be done only if you explicitly give access, and you have to add it manually to the permissions in the public role. The next most interesting role is the custom role. Say you are not satisfied with all the base role offered by Superset, you can have your own custom role that can be created, and you can give a set of permissions to the custom role. So now we are looking at how we can create a custom role and give permissions. And one more point I would like to add is you cannot change any of the base roles like the admin role, the alpha, and the gamma role. But the custom roles, you can create a new role and you can union the permissions of your custom role with the base roles. So that can be done. So this is all we had about the roles and permissions. Now we can move on to how to see how we can create a chart using Apache Superset. So like before creating any chart, we need data using which we can build a chart. So here we have taken a data set. It is a data set of a bank which has captured the loan details of its customers. It basically has the attributes like the customer ID, the issue date, the home ownership, loan category, purpose of loan, income category, etc. So now let's like see how we can do this. The first step is we need to upload our data set. So basically, we'll show you how you can upload your data set. You need to give a table name under which your data set will be stored. You need to choose a file from your local machine. Choose the CSV file you need to upload, and you need to choose the database. Examples is the default database available, and you need to fill in the delimiter information and the header row index column information. And also you need to fill in all the required information to upload a CSV, such as like if you need to skip any rows, if you need to read any rows in particular, and all those information. And when you come down, you can parse the date attributes of your data set. Like we have two data attributes, so we are just parsing it so that it will be easy for us to create a chart. And once you are done with all this, you need to save it, and it takes quite some time to upload data set based on the size of your data set. So we have already done uploading the data set, and now you can view the data set under the uh, data sets page. Here the loan table consists of like our data set. Now we can go on creating a chart. uh, here you have the page displaying all the charts available. You need to click on the chart button in the right corner, and you have to choose the data set. So loan table is our data set, and we need to choose the visualization type. Here we'll show you, like, there are a lot of visualizations available. We'll show you a simple pie chart for the demo. Then we need to click on the create new chart. Here we are going to show you a pie chart which will be showing the purpose of loan attribute. So we are basically going to show you like how this purpose of loan is being shown in a pie chart. When you run the query, you will have your chart being built, and you can also customize your chart by changing the different colors. This can be done using the color schema in the left pane, or also you can do this by using the CSS template in the right corner. You have something called the like CSS templates where you can alter the height, width of the chart, etc. So this is how you basically create a chart in Apache Superset. You can then name the chart and you can save the chart, which can be later added to an existing data dashboard or a new dashboard. So the next thing is we'll see how we can create a dashboard.
Yeah. So let us now, given that charts are nothing but your fundamental modules before creating a dashboard. So we have already created one chart. Now let us go and create a new dashboard called demo dashboard. Okay. Let us go to demo dashboard. Okay, and now let me pull. Okay, before that, I would like to have some tabs here. Okay, so let me drag and pull this here. So basically, it allows you to create tabs. See, so if you are if you're trying to divide your presentation based on some metric, for example, this is some Sensex data, and you would like to deep dive into each gender and how they have performed or how the population have increased, you can have this a name for this. For example, this is female, this is about female, this is about male. That's just an example. You can logically name yours. So let me pull the chart that we created. You can see here the chart was modified 47 seconds ago, and what kind of visualization it is, and the data source, basically the loan table. Let me pull and put it over here, and you can also resize it a little bit to fit. Let me pull it like this. Okay, now it looks good. So let me change this. Okay, and here we do have some other interesting options here at the right. So see, set auto refresh interval. So you can tell how often this chart needs to be refreshed. For example, if the incoming source, if the loan table is to be updated every now and then, like someone is feeding data into it every 10 minutes or something, then the chart needs to be refreshed in the particular frequency, right? So what we'll do is we can go and use this option to auto refresh. So let me have it like every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes this is gonna refresh. And let us also look at some cool other cool facts that we have here. So let me go and create a filter chart. Okay, I'm gonna do it on the same table, and I'm gonna choose chart, this filter box. Okay, that is my visualization. And yeah, so here let me have it for, I'm not going to do any filter on time. So I would like to create a filter on let's assume the region people are from, region Okay, then yeah, yes. Then maybe I can add another filter. What can I have? Maybe let me have the purpose again. It won't make sense, but just to show that you can add more than one filters, we'll have it here. And yeah, run query. Let me call this the filter box. Okay, filter box. Fine. Now let me save. Okay. Now I'll directly add it to my demo dashboard. Okay. So I've added this chart directly to my demo dashboard. Okay. Save and go to the demo dashboard. Okay. Yes. So now you can see a filter icon here, right? So let me go and before that, let me look at the count. So the debt consolidation is around 500 to 24K. Okay, now let me look for northern region alone. Apply. Yeah, it has reduced. So there is a similar feature in Tableau as well. So that was all about creating your dashboard. You can there are plenty of charts that you can try. This is just a small pie chart. You have a lot of things to do here. And let us also look into this cool feature of scheduling emails. You can either use you can schedule the entire dashboard to your email, or you can specifically send your particular chart. Okay, so what this basically tells you is that this dashboard scheduling is active. You can also set it false based on your need. And this is the cron information. For example, this tells that this dashboard scheduling will send mail every day at 5 p.m. to a set of user. Let us look into the users. Who is that? So it will be sending a mail to this particular email ID, which is basically me. Or else you can also add Slack channel. If you have a Slack channel, if you want to send your dashboards to Slack channel, you can also add it here. And you can choose what type of delivery it is, all those things. Yeah, that was all about this email scheduling. A similar layout will be present for chart emailing also. Yeah, very similar one. Yes. So that is all we had for the demo. We'll switch back to the slides now.
Yeah, so now we have had a clear idea of all the key features of Apache Superset, and these are the key takeaways you guys will be taking and be trying out when you go back. So the first key takeaway is Superset comes with tons of different visualization types, which you can use as per your use case. And also, as I already mentioned, you also have this custom plugin feature where you can have your own visualization and use it in your charts and dashboards. The next main key takeaway is it allows us to create and share interactive dashboards. Like we showed you how we create charts, and you can create different types of charts and add it to a dashboard with a your use case name, and you can also share these dashboards among your team members for viewing it to a better audience. The next key takeaway is Superset supports all SQL speaking databases. So these are basically all the databases which are supported by the SQL Alchemy library, which we spoke about in the key features. So you can connect the databases via the SQL Alchemy, and you can use them when you use Apache Superset. The next thing is the prominent customers of Superset. So as you can see, all the big names here use Superset day in and day out. Twitter, as we all know, is a very popular social media platform. It uses Superset for deriving major insights in a day-to-day basis. And Airbnb, which has Superset as its major which introduced Superset, uses Superset for arriving at insights and investigating and exploring the large chunks of data. And Udemy, which is a very popular learning platform, also uses Superset in a day-to-day basis. Lyft service, which is a cab service in California, which is something similar to Uber and Ola in India, also uses Superset. And Yahoo, a very popular mailing service, also makes use of Superset on a daily basis.
With all these demos and features, we have seen how Superset has been helping us. Now let us look at the limitation and challenges part. Superset has a limited support for enhancements as it is open source. You have to wait for someone to respond to your query. It's not like Tableau or other BI tools where you have this customer support, right? But in case of Apache Superset, it's an open source, so you have to depend on the community for the support. So basically, you have to create a issue there, and the person at the other end need to understand what the issue is, and they have to come up with the solution. Or sometimes you might not even have a solution there. So that is like one major limitation I see here. And second one is cloud deployment is not really user friendly. So if you ask me to set the same thing that I've set up in my local, I need to if you, I need to be a little bit of a technical person if I need to set up the same in your in the cloud environment. It's gonna be like I need to open some ports. I need to make sure that this port opening doesn't really make a chaos there in the security in cloud deployment. So all these things has to be made very clear. And as of now, I don't see a really very great documentation in terms of cloud deployment in Superset. And third one is no support for NoSQL databases. So I think as with time, it should also start supporting NoSQL databases, because in real time, we are also using NoSQL databases here and there. So it's definitely a drawback. And constant UI updates. So this is one thing which I have been facing constantly since this past 6 months. I can see my UI has been constantly changed like at least 3 times. So for one side, first time my create dashboard was at the right side, then the left side. So as a user, it is not really easy, right? After every UI update, I kind of look where my option is. So that is not really advisable from my side. And the final one is as a considerable number of unresolved issues. If you look at some of the major issues is like if you try installing the same superset in Windows, there are few steps that fail, and this issue has been like there for quite some time, and it is still happening with all these years. Throughout all these years, we are still facing some issues. So if you're installing the superset in Windows, your default username and password are getting invalid response there. So these are some issues that are being kept unresolved, and those are like major problems. Without logging in, you can't definitely try superset, right? So that's like one major issue, but there are quite high number of issues there present. So now let us actually look how Superset well fares itself with Tableau. And Tableau has this detailed customization of dashboard with legends, filters, tags, etc. In the demo too, we actually saw one of these features in Superset. For example, we were able to create a filter, right? It is I don't deny that it is not present in Superset, but it is limited. In the sense, you have to add those features. They have a template. Now you go create a feature. Now you're not just a visualization expert, you're also being turned into a developer who adds these templates also. So you need to read a lot in case of Superset to add a new customized feature. And the second point is Tableau is supporting SQL and NoSQL databases, whereas Superset is till now is supporting only SQL speaking databases.
And Tableau is priced annually, while Superset is free and open source. So you can go and experiment with all your data sets in Superset, while that is not possible in Tableau because you need to purchase a license to do so. Tableau supports like the major authentication backends such as the OAuth, OpenID, SAML, and Active Directory, while Superset supports only OAuth, OpenID, and LDAP. So this is basically the repo of Superset, where you can go and you can even contribute to the open source community. And we have a pretty decent documentation for Apache Superset, which you can use while you work with Apache Superset. And you can also read through the Airbnb use case, the place where Superset actually emerged. And it is a quite interesting article to read. And there is a bi-weekly meetup that happens between the Superset contributors and the Superset team, where they exchange ideas on what can be enhanced better in the platform. So you can also be a part of the Superset meetup. So that's all we had. Thank you for listening patiently, and over to you for the questions.
Yeah, yes. Any questions?
Yes, I'm Sai Monica here. Can I know in which project we are using this tool right now in LV?
In LV, I don't think. Hi, Sai Monica. First of all, so in LV, we have been exploring this Sai Monica. I don't think any project is currently using it. We are exploring it. Even you
Okay.
can try this out. Yeah.
Okay, Rina. Thank you.
Anything else, guys? Yeah. Then I guess we are good, guys. Thank you for
Thanks a
being
lot
patient.
for patiently listening. Hope you guys get to work with Apache Superset and explore more cool features in future.
Yeah, do try test it out. Okay, you can visualize a simple Excel or CSV chart that you have. Yeah, you can install it even if you're using your pip3 install superset. It works like that. So just check out that page and you can also contribute. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you both. Bye.